Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. Day one of Wimbledon. Done and dusted, wrapped up. We're going to go through, of course, our traditional Grand Slam day roundup. I'm going to try and do it under 10 minutes. The first couple of days are really hard because there's so many matches and I want to talk about them, of course, but I'll try my best. Before we get into it, remember to hit that like button, please, if you haven't done so already, and do subscribe if you're new. If you're a podcaster, listener, watcher, all that good stuff, remember to leave a rating review. Please, it does help us out. I can see quite a few people are listening on podcast platforms. Great. Thank you so much for your support. Okay, let's get into it. Wimbledon day one, there were upsets. There were some straightforward victories, but I have to say it was a very eventful day one and a lot more eventful than I was predicting. My bracket for the championships is completely out the window, so I'm not even going to talk about that. Completely broken. Don't even want to discuss it. Let's get into this. So, as you can see, a couple of matches suspended. We're not going to talk about those just because we don't know how they're going to finish. You can see like Harrison, J. Clark, Altmaier and Eimer, even Opelka, 2 sets to love up. But look, it can easily turn around. So we're only going to talk about final results. So we're going to touch upon the men's first, the women's, then we're going to actually break down very quickly. I'm going to give you like a quick fire prediction or predictions even for tomorrow, and some of the matches you guys should be looking out for in tomorrow's day's play. So Oscar Otte winning the all-German affair against Gauff, so good win for him. Of course, he's in great form. Great grass court season so far for him. Bublik beat Fucsovic, an upset for me. I thought Fucsovic would come through that, but look, it's a 50-50. Bublik likes the grass. Not a massive surprise in the end. Andy Murray won in 4 sets against James Duckworth. James Duckworth not coming into in particularly good form. Apart from obviously, got through, I guess he's still managing to, I guess, make the first round, but hasn't won any main draw matches for a while. Andy Murray struggled in the first set, managed to win in 4 sets. I covered it on the channel. Thank you to everyone who did join me for that watch along and commentary. Really enjoyed it. Murray, the first serve was on fire. A lot of serves down the tee, especially from the juice side, a lot of aces. That serve was firing beautifully. It is a sight to behold. Same for Duckworth, to be fair, as well. A bit passive in some rallies. Not surprised there, though. And returning was okay. In parts, passing shots, always there. Great to see, and some great drop shots. So vintage Murray in bursts, but it's not a massive disappointment. Of course, it's the first round. Hopefully he's able to build up some sort of form and match fitness as the tournament goes on, and no signs of that abdominal injury that he cited and why he missed Queens as well because of that. No signs of it whatsoever. So good win in the end, but he'll be hoping for a straight set victory over John Isner, who will be facing next. Krejcikova had to retire, so walkover for Lajovic. Greixspor, someone called it in my draw prediction video. They put on one of the comments, look, Greixspor's going to beat Fognini. They were right. 1 in 4 sets, really great win for the Dutch player. Fognini's dangerous. So some people might be happy, they might be disappointed. Who knows? Greixspor could be a much harder player to play against. He's in great form this year. Don't sleep on him. Kecmanovic 1 in 4 sets against Milburn. Good win for him. He's having a great 2022. Jannik Sinner beating Wawrinka in 4 sets. I said it was a 50-50 because Wawrinka is more experienced on the grass, but it's still not his favorite surface. It's his least favorite surface. Of course, he's won slams at the US Open, Australian Open, and the French. The only slam he hasn't won at is Wimbledon. But still, he's gone deep at Wimbledon in various years. For Sinner, of course, though, he's fresher, or more fresh even. Again, like Wawrinka, not his favorite surface, but just had too much, I think, in the tank. And this Wawrinka is a shadow of the Wawrinka we once knew. Van Ritterven beat Delbonis in 3 sets, carried on his great form in the grass court swing. Vesely, or Big V as Cam Williams likes to call him, beat Korea in straight sets. Good win for him. Tabilo beat Jabeur in 5. Look at that. Final set tiebreaker 13-11. Big disappointment for Jabeur. He's a pretty decent player. Tabilo with a good win. And Alcaraz had to go through absolute hell to beat Struff. 5-setter, won the final set 6-4. Keep an eye on him. Keep an eye on Alcaraz. Struff played really well, but Alcaraz will be disappointed to have to fight so hard for that. Kokonakis won in straight sets against Madrak. He will face Novak Djokovic in the next round, who had to come through in 4 sets against Korean Kwon. Look, that second set he lost 6-3, and Kwon is a very, very, very solid player. Djokovic looked a little bit off at times, but look, I'll say it, and I always do say it. He normally peaks at the right times in slams, and he always starts off relatively slow, works his way up, and ends up looking like an absolute killing machine as we get to the latter stages of the tournament. John Isner came through in 5 sets against Kouakoud, of course, facing Andy Murray, as I said. He was struggling. It was 2-1 down, so good win in the end. And Norrie dealing out a bagel and beating Andahar in straight sets. Easy win for the Brit. Basilashvili beating Rosol in 5. Danic Fokina, the biggest upset of the day for me, beating Hubert Hurkacz. I had him making the final. Crazy, I know. And I was just so high on him. I thought he was playing some really good tennis on the grass. I thought it suited his game. It really kind of hid the kind of lack of power that he likes to exert on the forehand. Likes to come to the net. Big server. In the end, lost. He was 2 sets love down, recovered to 2 sets all, was a breakup in the 5th set, 4-2 up. Danic Fokina had chances in the 3rd set at 5-3 and 40 love up, or I think it was. He didn't take them. He didn't take those 3 match points. Hurkacz obviously recovered. In the 5th set, if you're going to be a breakup and you're going to recover and do all that hard work, you better damn well finish it. He didn't. He got broken back, and Danic Fokina took him to a tiebreaker, a championship tiebreaker, of course. Well, that's why I call it to 10 in a final setter. And yeah, lost it 10-8. I mean, oh God, Hurkacz. Hubert Hurkacz. He'll be disappointed because he looked like someone who might be a contender. They asked him about it after winning Harlow, and he said, why not? Why not? Why can't I be a contender? That's why, Hubert. That's why, unfortunately. Bernard Paire lost in 4 sets to Hallis, his countryman. A little bit of an upset there. Menard beating Montero in 3 sets. He'll be happy about that. He does like a marathon. And Manarino beating Purcell in 5 sets. Very, very hard fought. Look at that. Winning a tiebreaker 7 love. Max Purcell will be disappointed with that. Burr in the end had to come back from 2-1 down to beat Echeverry in 5. I did say Burr is one of the most most erratic players on tour right now, so not a surprise that it was so difficult. TFO won in straight sets, Ruud in straights as well. Look at 2 tiebreakers. He loves a tiebreaker, doesn't he, Casper Ruud? 11-9 in one of them. Wow, great tiebreaker. And last but not least, Matara beating Badin in 4 sets. That's an upset. I thought Badin would get through, so didn't pick that one. Tommy Paul winning in straights against Verdasco. Did call that. Verdasco obviously a shadow of the player he once was. That's just because of age, and that's understandable. Let's go on to the women's side quickly then. So you can see there, Korpatch, Watson suspended. It was 1 set all, so they had to close up for the day. Watson was a breakup in the 1st set, so she would have been hoping to get it done, but in the end couldn't. So we're not going to talk about the suspended matches. Obviously, Begu won in straight sets against Gorgodze. Kerber beat Mladenovic in straight. A bagel as well. Great win for her. She loves the grass. Nanette won 6-1, 6-4 against Contreras Gomez. Udvardi beat Zidansek 6-4, 7-6. That's an upset for me. Lee beating Bronzetti 6-1, 6-4. And Gauff beating Inglis in 3. Danielle Collins. I said she might like the surface. She took the 1st set against Buzkova 7-5, then lost in 3 sets. That's a big, big upset for me. Danielle Collins, since that Australian Open final, just has really failed to replicate that type of form. And I would imagine her ranking is going to continue to fall. Torsen, yeah, disappointing. The really, really young and bright Danish player had to retire. So Hontama getting a walkover. And Trevisan, the Roland Garros semi-finalist, not being able to carry forward her French Open form, getting bageled in the 2nd set against her compatriot Cotoretto, 6-2, 6 love. Kirsty turned back against her, winning 2 tiebreakers clutch from the Romanian, 7-6, 7-6 against Krunic. And Paris beating Kanepi. I thought Kanepi would win because of experience, and Paris obviously, in my eyes, a bit more of a clay quarter, but she came through, and in straights as well, 6-4, 6-4, great win for her. Haddon Meyer, oh man, not as much of an upset as her catch, but I'll tell you what, disappointing nonetheless. Had her going deep in my bracket as well. Had her making the semi-finals. I mean, yeah, she's been in great form, the left-hander from Brazil, and she is a danger on grass. Just not able to replicate that form. And sometimes the occasion gets to you, especially if you've got expectations. Lost 4-6, 6-4, 2-6 in the end. Yeah. Interesting. Hovan will be happy with that victory, that's for sure. Raducanu beat Van Oudvank 6-4, 6-4. Solid victory for the Brit, and I have to say, a pretty professional performance and a difficult player to come up against in the first round. I said it would be difficult. It was difficult in the sense that it wasn't a straightforward blitz, but in the end, she did what she had to do. Let's see how she plays against Caroline Garcia, who's a bit more of a test, I would say. Kontaveit beat Parrish in straight sets 7-5, 6-1. And talking about Caroline Garcia, she beat Miyazaki, Raducanu's compatriot, 4-6, 6-1, 7-6 in a final set tiebreaker 10-4. That was a really close one. Great match to watch. Niemi beat Wang in straights, a breadstick to boot as well. Mertens beat Serrano. Got a walkover anyways. After losing the first set 6-1. Interesting. Kawa beat Marino in 3, and Jabeur with a very, very, very good performance against Bjorklund. Breadstick, and then 6-3 in the second. Very good win for the Tunisian player. She, obviously after losing in the French Open first round, after having a great clay court swing, has had a good grass court swing here as well. So we'll be hoping to push on, and she has, of course, by at least winning the first round here. She'll be looking to go deep. Trelinska beat Siniakova 6-love, 7-5. I called that qualifier. Karolina beating Bondar in 3 sets. Good win for her. And Risk beating Albon in straights. Called that as well. I didn't call this, though. I thought Jodie Burrage would make a little run here because she's had some really good form on the grass, especially after beating someone like Padosa. I thought she'd have great confidence coming into it. In the end, just not quite solid enough. Too many errors filtering through. Watched some of the game or some of her match even that she was playing. Serenko just, making a lot of balls and too many mistakes from Burrage. Lost 6-2, 6-3 in the end. It will be a good experience, though. Of course, she was first up on court and should take a lot from it. Of course, her first Wimbledon, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah. Right, let's quickly go through tomorrow's matches, and then I'll call probably on the men's and women's side maybe one match to watch for sure that you should, like the popcorn match, and I'm going to give my predictions quickly. Goffin Albot, Goffin, Daniel Baez, Peniston, Laxon and Peniston, Johnson and Dimitrov, Grenier, Husler, Grenier, Martinez, Molcan, Bonzi, Collard, Bonzi, Jubb, Kyrgios, Gasquet, Souza, Gasquet, Kukushkin, Brooksby, Dimoneur, Delian, Dimoneur, Query, Barankes, Query, Berrettini, Garin, Berrettini, Rune, Giron, Rune, Zapata, Morales, Sock, Poprin, Gaston, Poprin, Borges, McDonald, Lopez, Van der Zan-Schulp, Nakashima, Kuhn, Nakashima, Felix, Cressy. I'm going to go Felix. That is the match to watch, by the way. Felix Auger-Aliassime versus Maxime Cressy. Make sure you watch that. That's going to be an interesting match. That's my pick on the men's side. Rusevori, Nishioka, Rusevori, Sonego, Kudla, Carabas, Bayana, Thompson, Nadal, Cerundolo, Nadal, Schwartzman, Kozlov, Schwartzman, Draper, Bergs, Draper, Krajinovic, Lehecka, Krajinovic, Shapovalov, Redanek, Shapovalov, Brody, Klein, Brody, Kubler, Evans, Gray, Seng, Batista Agu, Balaz, Bautista Agu, Novak, Bagnis, Novak, Kepfer, Gatan, Kepfer, Tsitsipas, Richard, Tsitsipas, and Fritz Musetti. I'm going to go with Fritz. So that's a pretty good one as well. But yeah, I think Felix Cressy is the one. Harrison, Roos, Harrison, Kostyuk, Swan, Kostyuk, Sakkari, Hive, Sakkari, Cornet, Potentseva, Cornet, Shank to beat Bozemska, Gavrilova to beat Tomova, Parazas Diaz to beat Lu, Golubic to beat Petkovic, Ostapenko to beat Dodin, Wickmeyer to beat Zhu, Zhang to beat Doi, Krejcikova to beat Zanevska, Brengel to beat Davis, Kovanic to beat Kartal, Gauff to beat Roos, Tomjanovic to beat Teichmann to beat Tomjanovic, Flipkins to beat Forlis, Anisimova to beat Wang, Swiatek to beat Fett. We'll be doing Swiatek Fett tomorrow, so make sure you tune in for that. Padosa to beat Chirico. Kvitova to beat Paulini. Yastremska to beat Bodan. Paquet to beat Bada. Sorribes Toma to beat Mikhail. Halep to beat Makova. Muguruza to beat Minen. This is my pick on the women's side. Qinwen Zheng to play Sloane Stephens. I have Sloane Stephens winning that, but that's my pick of the day. Kuchova, Pegosi, Georgi Freck, Georgi Rogers to beat Martic, Serena Williams to beat Tan, Katie Bolter to beat Burrell, Raducanu to beat Van der Wey, Schmidlova to beat Peterson, Pagula to beat Vekic, Andrescu to beat Bektas, Pliskova to beat Martinkova, and Dart to beat Masarova. So that's my roundup. Wasn't done in 10 minutes. We'll get better as the tournament gets on. Thank you very much for tuning in. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe if you're new. If you're a podcast listener or watcher, remember to leave a rating review. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow for Swiatek versus Fett, and of course, our roundup of day 2. See you later.